What's up, guys? How's it going? That was way too enthusiastic. Oh God, I don't want to be like all those other YouTubers who are like, "What's up, guys? How's it going? I just did a lot of cocaine." I didn't. I'm not endorsing drugs. YouTube, don't ban my video, please. Anyway, wow, yeah, that was way too enthusiastic. Anyway, how's it going, guys? I'm tired as shit. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm filming this the day of it goes up, like, so it should be up in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So, we're gonna review the Kershaw Flyby. It's one of Kershaw's budget banger, frame lock, spring open assist knives. This is D2 blade steel, I believe. Yeah, D2 black oxide, black wash, finish, open assist, frame lock, stainless steel grade PVD, and it does have I believe, a reversible deep carry. I could be wrong. Let's look. I am wrong. I lied to you. I'm sorry. Anyway, so first things first. I gotta be honest with you. I was originally gonna review the Turismo. Kershaw has this weird thing about knives, man. I try and review as many Kershaw knives as possible because obviously a lot of you guys who watch the videos either found the channel through Whatnot or found the channel and then buy knives from me through Whatnot. So it's like, you know, either way you experience my shows and buying products from my shows. Anyway, Kershaw has this weird, I don't know. In my opinion, they have this weird standard. They either hit the nail on the head with the knife that they do, or they completely miss it, right? They end up just hammering the shit out of the wood that the nail is supposed to go into. So I was going to do the Turismo, which is another spring assist, D2, frame lock knife. But I don't I don't like the knife personally. I'll review it still. I'll explain like why I don't like it. I'll still review the knife, but I didn't want to put out a positive review and then a negative review because the last video I did was a positive review on the Kershaw sequence. Kershaw did a fantastic job on that. And I'm never going to lie to you guys and be like, "Oh, this knife is amazing." Like, no. I'm going to tell you right now, every single brand is going to put out bangers or put out flops. Some brands put out way more bangers than flops. Some brands just don't miss. Have I experienced a brand that doesn't miss? No, but there are a lot of brands out there that put out way more bangers than flops, that's for sure. At least in my opinion. Again, this is all my opinion, right? Now, I don't hate Kershaw. I thoroughly enjoy their knives. I have a bunch of Kershaw. Matter of fact, I have a sequence over here to the left. I also have a Bel Air. I also have a Lucid. I have a bunch of Kershaw. I thoroughly I thoroughly enjoy Kershaw as a brand. But sometimes they just like really miss the mark. I don't know. I've also noticed this, right? Before we get into this, all right? I was thinking about this today in the car. So certain brands have like their thing, right? Like Vosteed has like button lock and liner lock, right? That's kind of their thing. No, actually not button lock, sorry. Vosteed has the button lock, I forgot what it's called. It's the it's this where the blade is it's like perfectly balanced here, so it's like very fidgetable. I can't remember what it's called. Vosteed's like head engineer created this. They also have like the anchor lock, and they also are like very popular for the top liner button locks. I mean, a lot of brands are doing it, but you know, Vosteed has been, at least in my opinion, one of the main bigger brands that's doing it. Kershaw, when I was thinking about it today, Kershaw doesn't do any button locks. It's like flipper tab, liner lock, frame lock. Their button lock, all their button knives are automatics, and I find that kind of strange if I'm honest with you, because some of these knives that I feel like miss the mark could have been really good, like top liner lock, button lock knives. Because I think if you're gonna do a button lock, a top liner lock button lock is like the best approach. But obviously, sometimes tolerances on the knife, especially the design, there's just not enough room to do that geometry inside the knife, which I understand. I get that. So then again, they're like, okay, you could do a button lock, right? Or an access lock. So you have like the Bel Air and the Sequence and the Iridium. It's like, why not do more access locks? But Kershaw doesn't. I don't know. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think Kershaw only has 4 access locks in their product lineup. I'm pretty sure. Because they have another knife that's like the Sequence. It's not the Sequence, but it's like the Sequence. That's another like budget oriented, but I can't remember what it's called. But other than that, they only have 4 access locks, and then everything else is frame lock, open assist, liner lock, etc. And then they have their autos. So anyway, kind of got off on a tangent. Oh god. So yeah, the Turismo was kind of disappointed me. So I wanted to do another knife that, you know, from like messing with it for like a minute or two, I was like, oh wow, I'm impressed with this. So here we are, Flyby. The action on this, fantastic. It's got a very unique frame lock design, as you can see. I originally kind of wasn't a fan of it, but it's kind of growing on me. And it's got this really nice Wharncliffe blade, like modified it's Wharncliffe blade style. I'm a huge fan of like Cleaver, Wharncliffe, Tonto blades, and like this just kind of hits the nail on the head for me. It's got a great action. It really does. I think that's like one of my biggest things with Kershaw knives is the deployment action, right? Especially with frame locks. So, see if I can get this to focus. So as you can see, it's got a pretty deep lockout, but my problem with the Turismo is, see if we can. So the frame lock, so you have the detent ball. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hold on, see if we can. There we go. All right, so you have the detent ball is touching the blade, right? The detent ball is still allowing the blade to deploy without a problem. The frame lock isn't grabbing the blade. And with the Turismo, every time I go to deploy it, it's the frame lock is like grabbing the blade. It's biting the blade, and it won't let the blade deploy. So on the one that I opened, I had to physically bend the frame outward in order for it to make it easier to deploy. And even then, it's really not that easy to deploy. I've had the issue with a few other frame locks from Kershaw. A lot of them were easy fixes where I just bent the frame, you know. But it's not, I don't know, it's not a good feeling when you have that issue. It just makes the knife unenjoyable. At least to me, it just makes me like not want to carry it, not want to use it, not want to mess with it. Also, with this, there is such great real estate on this flipper tab, and the jimping on it isn't wildly aggressive. It's there, you can feel it, but if you want to sit here and fidget with this knife, you can. It's not gonna like absolutely destroy your finger. And there's jimping on the frame lock itself and on the underside of the, obviously where your finger is meeting the blade itself. And then you have some jimping here. Jimping could, I always give knives shit for the fact that there's never enough jimping on the top here, but it's okay. It's an adequate amount, really. It could be more, but like this is like you're not going to be hacking down a tree with this knife. So, I mean, it would be nice if there was more jimping, even for being a budget knife. Now, I say this is a budget knife. Originally, retail on this knife was $80. On Blade HQ right now, as I film this video, it is a $34 knife. So even for a $34 knife, they could have extended the jimping up a bit. But aside from that, it's pretty light. It feels really nice in the hand as far as ergonomics go. You have this really nice, this looks like a flat grind. I'm just double checking. Yeah, I think it's a flat grind. I could be wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments. And you have this really nice swedge at the top too, which is just a nice aesthetic, honestly. But overall, like, it's a really, really nice knife, especially for $34. Like, if you were, in my opinion, if you came to me and you were like, if I was, I want to get a Kershaw knife, I have like $30 to spend, what would you recommend? Kershaw has a ton of, like, should say, like, we'll say $40 to spend, right? They have a ton of $40 price range knives that are D2, which also kind of weird to me. I guess just, you know, giving people options as far as general design and aesthetic, which if that's the approach, then hey, kudos to you. That's cool. I applaud that. I would say that this is a high pick for me. It's either this, or if you want to spring up, you know, another $5, you know, $45, go with the sequence. But obviously we're not talking about the sequence right now. Also, sequence is in D2, so kind of shot myself in the foot with that one. Yeah, they did a great job on this knife. I mean, it's nothing amazing, but it's a really nice budget knife. It's got great ergos. It feels nice in the hand. It's easy deployment. Also easy to put away. The spring tension on the blade isn't wildly intense. So if, like, you know, I don't know, if you're carrying this and you're working in a warehouse, you're not wearing gloves, your hands are sweaty, or you're out on a job site and you're using this knife for whatever, again, your hands are sweaty, you won't risk your thumbs sliding up or sliding off this and cutting yourself or injuring yourself, because the the physical tension spring in the blade, it's actually pretty soft, which is really nice. So snappy action, easy to deploy, easy to put away. It's light. It's actually a relatively smaller knife comparatively to some of the other D2 knives that Kershaw makes. It just sounds so good when you deploy it. They hit it out of the park with this. Again, downside, you don't have a reversible pocket clip, but yeah. And maybe this, like, hole cutout aesthetic isn't for everybody. Who knows? I know there are a lot of people who are like, Kershaw is very, like, hit or miss. You either like Kershaw or you don't. It's kind of like no in between. Also, you know, Kershaw does a ton of spring assists. I'm generally not a huge fan of spring assists, but Kershaw, I think, for me, as far as a brand, is the exception. They do a good job with it, so I kind of just let it slide. Yeah, I'd recommend this. It's not like a whoa, this is like the best knife ever. But if you like Kershaw knives and you're looking for a new, like, $35 knife to pick up, D2, something to beat on, something to, you know, take to work and open boxes and cut zip ties, you know, like light duty work, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with picking this up, quite honestly. I definitely think that this would be the more, but if I was in that position where I'm like, okay, I need a, like, relatively cheap budget knife, but I need something that's pretty robust. It feels sturdy. There's no blade wiggle at all. It's got a nice snappy action. It's easy to handle one-handed. You know, you don't need to be, you know, Ronnie Coleman or Eddie Hall to close this thing. Yeah, I would say that this is probably, you know, the knife for you if you're looking for the next budget EDC. I don't know, Kershaw, you know, like I said, they either do really well, they hit it on the head, or they kind of miss the target. It's one or the other. So, scale of 1 to 10. If I'm like I said, I'm trying to rate these now, so you guys have a better understanding. Would I personally own this knife? Well, this is technically mine, so I'll probably carry it at some point. I've been carrying like a bunch of higher end stuff recently, because that's just kind of where I lean towards. But I also have a bunch of budget stuff on my desk that I carry too. So it's more of like flavor of the day, like what am I feeling. But yeah, I'd probably carry this. It's a really nice knife. So 1 out of 10. 10 being absolutely get this, without a doubt in my mind. 1 being avoid this at all costs. I would say I'd say like 7.5. It's not like absolutely get this knife, it's amazing, it'll change your life forever, but it's, you know, it's there. It's you know, it'll do what you need it to do. So yeah. Good job, Kershaw. I still don't get how you manage to, like, you sometimes you hit it, and sometimes you just completely miss. Like, I don't get it. I think you're the only brand that I know of that does that. Very strange to me. Huh. I don't know. Anyway, it's weird because I really like Kershaw. It's just, Kershaw is like, man. Okay, this is going to be such a throwback and such like a niche example. I don't know if anybody ever played Forza 2. It was an online racing game for the Xbox. It was basically it wasn't a sim racing game. It was like arcade sim. But there was so I played the game, like I was like super competitive in the game when I was a kid. I think I was in like high school when Forza 2 was like really popular. Or no, I was in like middle school, high school, something like that. Anyway, the whole point of this analogy is I got like really good at tuning cars in that game, because you can tune the cars to make them faster. So you put all the parts on them, and then you can tune them to make them faster, and then you can try and set like lap times on the tracks and see where it places you on the leaderboard within the world, right? Within all the other people that are playing on Xbox. And I got really into that, and I just like super obsessive. Like, a little known fact about me is I have a very obsessive personality. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. And it was like one of those things where like I found this and I loved it so much that I got super obsessive over it. And all I did was like want to learn how to get better at it. And so they had this thing. So in the game, there was this thing where if you could tune a car one of two ways, you could tune it to be a hot lap car, or you could tune it to be a consistent lap after lap turner, right? So consistent lap after lap, like you would hit the same lap times no matter what all the time, right? So usually like the car setup was a little stiffer. The car was a little more unforgiving. If you gave it too much throttle coming out of a turn, or you didn't brake enough going into a turn, or you hit rumble strips at like the wrong portion into the apex of a turn, like etc., that kind of thing, right? Just like very race car oriented. And then there was the hot lap tune. The hot lap tune was like very like loose and forgiving. But it was like if you weren't hitting your marks and weren't able to capitalize on like how the car was set up. So most hot lap cars were set up in the way of like they were really loose. The brakes were a lot weaker on the cars. Usually the tires were a little less grippy, and the cars were just like generally more focused on speed, right? So you had to really keep that in mind. Like, so if you like missed your line for one corner, generally your lap was completely screwed, like just completely done, right? But if you hit your marks on every single corner of the track, or like 90% of at least 85% of the track, you hit your marks in these cars, the way they hot lap set up, you would set some crazy lap times. And so that was kind of like the thing. It was like, so you had like these two separate tunes. You had like the hot lap tune, which is like super inconsistent to race with, by the way. Like if you couldn't drive them, if you didn't know that they were, you know, like super loosey goosey and like kind of just a hot mess, like they were just not very like well fit and finished tunes. And you tried to race with them, like it was just a terrible time. And so basically I'm making that analogy for Kershaw. So Kershaw either makes these like amazing banger 10 out of 10 knives, or they make a knife that's like, what? Like, did you hire like a blind one-legged midget to do this? Sorry, I shouldn't say midget. That's not politically correct. Did you hire a blind one-legged small person who only speaks like Latin to design this knife? You know, like something like that. Don't cancel me, please. But yeah, that's kind of like what I'm getting at. Like, that's how I feel Kershaw is. They either hit it or they don't. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh god. Oh man. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, just for the record, I enjoy Kershaw as a brand. I really do. I really like Kershaw. I still want to get a magnet cut leak. Yeah, I still need to get an iridium as well. Those are 2 knives that are on my like to get list. But anyway, we're at like 20 minutes. If you manage to stay this far, first of all, kudos to you, because I've just been a babbling moron this entire time. Anyway, so yeah, if you like Kershaw, you need a good EDC that's cheap. This knife is it's worth your time. It's worth your time. Nothing exceptional, but it's worth your time. So yeah. Also, complete side note, we have I have knife mats now for the brand. I will put them in my shop on Whatnot. I haven't had a chance to yet. Been incredibly busy. But when I'm a little less psychotically busy, I will be sure to put the ones up. We also have t-shirts with the same design. I'll put those up too. Very limited stock on both, but I'll put them up in the Whatnot shop. So if you're looking and or interested, here, let me move this. You want to see what they look like? There you go. If you are interested, these are 12 by 16 inches. So if you're interested, they will be available in my Whatnot shop at some point. I've been dealing with some family stuff, so yeah, been a little swamped. But anyway, okay. That's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. The next video that goes up will probably be like a shop vlog of me working on my custom fixed blades and stuff. So yeah, I know some people probably don't like that, but just it's another form of content. And yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video. Stay hydrated, eat some good food as always. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. All right, later dudes, have a good one.